Before the game starts, players are divided into two groups, each playing the role of the senior class of students from 2013 and the returning alumni from 2023. Each group enters their own classroom, reads the notices projected on the whiteboard, and sign their names on the blackboard under the guidance of the game master. Shortly after, the room begins playing an opening animation that introduces the story's background. Once the opening animation ends, the game begins. Both groups of players follow the hints on the invitations in their classrooms to set the classroom clocks to 10 o'clock. This triggers a mechanism that starts a light, an animation show representing the intertwining of time. Once the show ends, the players will see the signatures on the whiteboard overlapping in different colors, suggesting they are now in a state of temporal intersection. At this point, the players can communicate by writing on the whiteboard. An announcement over the intercom informs players that the power system is damaged and prompts them to reset the circuit breakers to restore power. Both groups discover that they each have only half the clues needed to restore the power system fully. Players must communicate via the blackboard to exchange clues and complete the power restoration. Once the power is restored, another announcement reports that the classroom humidity is too high, prompting players to adjust the air conditioning. After setting the air conditioning to the correct state, the fogged windows between the two classrooms become transparent, and a small upper window opens, allowing the players to communicate through the window. At this point, players need to find student-id cards tied to long ropes in their classrooms and swing them through the opened upper windows, guiding them with the help of players in the opposite classroom to swing the cards to the card readers on the back doors, thereby unlocking them to meet up together. Once both back doors are opened, an announcement informs players that there are packages available in the parcel locker. By entering the last four digits of the mobile number from the 2023 invitation, players can open the locker and retrieve the packages. Inside, they find a smartphone, which they use to log into a messaging app. After logging into the messaging app, players receive a message from Ryan. He explains that every year on homecoming day at 10 p.m., classroom experiences a temporal intersection, which is the current situation they are in, between 2013 and 2023. Ryan had planned for everyone to stay until this time because he hoped they could investigate the true cause of his girlfriend Emily's death during homecoming day in 2012, as he could not attend due to illness. Ryan, a current literature teacher at the school and a 2012 graduate, has long believed that Emily's death on homecoming night in 2012 was not due to natural causes as concluded by the police but was caused by someone. After becoming a teacher at the school, Ryan has been trying to uncover the truth about that night, but with no progress until a serendipitous event in 2018 inspired him. He conducted several experiments to confirm the phenomenon of temporal intersection occurring on homecoming night, and managed to travel back to 2012 during the 2022 homecoming. However, he was unable to find Emily or prevent her death. Ryan intended to travel back again this year to continue his investigation, but was prevented by a sudden illness. Hence, he designed the invitations, hoping the players would continue the investigation in his stead during this temporal intersection. Following Ryan's clue, players need to unlock the storage room behind the classroom of 2013 to retrieve Emily's accident file. By comparing the duty rosters and student registries on the blackboards at the back of both classrooms, players can deduce the passwords for the two storage rooms. After entering the correct passwords into the keypad, the doors to the storage rooms will open. After sending a photo of the locked cabinet in the storage room to Ryan, He sends back a screenshot of a key, guiding players to create a duplicate key, using the method of chemical etching. First, players must gather the required chemicals from both storage rooms. Then, following the sequence of steps outlined in the experiment answer sheets posted on the classroom walls, players mix the chemicals in the correct order in the storage room's chemical mixing device to obtain the prepared etching solution. Players then need to find a copper plate in the storage room and use a pen to draw the outline of the key from Ryan's picture. Next, they apply the etching solution, actually water, onto the areas marked for etching. After sending Ryan a photo of the copper plate coated with the solution, he informs them that the etching process would typically take several hours. Since the temporal intersection phenomenon only lasts for 1 hour, players must think of a way to use the current temporal intersection to accelerate the etching process. Players discover that there is an identical safe in the same location in both storage rooms, and these safes allow users to set their own combination. They utilize the 10-year time difference between the two spaces to store the copper plate, thus completing the etching quickly while ensuring no one else takes the key. Players are to open the safe in the 2013 storage room, place the copper plate inside, close the door, and set a 6-digit combination. After setting it, they proceed to the 2023 storage room, enter the previously set combination, open the safe, and retrieve the key for the document cabinet. With the key in hand, players open the document cabinet and find Emily's accident file. After photographing and sending the file to Ryan, he continues to share details about Emily's case. Ryan was occupied with other matters and did not stay with Emily to clean up the school that day. Emily was found dead in the school's storage room the following day, her death ruled as a sudden cardiac arrest by the police. However, Ryan believes she was murdered because he received a text from Emily in the early hours of that day, telling him she saw someone suspicious at the school and was very scared. And then she lost contact. Despite extensive investigations, no useful clues were found, and the autopsy report clearly pointed to a heart attack, leading the police to close the case. But Ryan still believed that someone prevented Emily from reaching the emergency medicine available in the classroom's emergency kit, which would have helped in case of a cardiac episode, thus contributing to her untimely death. After closely examining the file, Ryan points out that the medication bottle shown in the photo seems inconsistent with what was usually stocked in the classroom. Players are then tasked to locate this specific bottle of medicine from the emergency medical kit in the 2023 classroom as depicted in the file, and send a photo of it to Ryan. Ryan reveals that the medication was only introduced to the school in 2019 and couldn't have been present at the scene of Emily's death. With suspecting, Ryan asks players to try to open the document cabinet in the 2023 storage room to see if they can find any clues from the surveillance footage inside. However, since Ryan does not have a photo of this cabinet's key, players cannot create a key using the etching method and must find another way to open the cabinet. At this point, players should notice several drain pipes and valves above the 2013 document cabinet. Players should adjust the valves so that water leaks onto the cabinet, causing the long rusted door of the 2023 cabinet to break open. After obtaining the surveillance footage from over the years, players can insert them into a computer to review. Every homecoming night at 10 p.m., the surveillance video is disrupted by static and only recovers an hour later. A crucial segment of the 2022 footage shows the classroom state before and after the interference. Players can observe that a cabinet at the back of the classroom seems to have been moved. Players then need to move the cabinet in the 2023 classroom, revealing a dropped smartphone behind it. After photographing the smartphone and sending it to Ryan, he is shocked to discover that it is Emily's phone, which had been missing. He asks players to check the phone for clues. Shortly after, Ryan messages that he has guessed who killed Emily. If players also discover this, they can try sending the murderer's name to Ryan. Players find two selfie videos on Emily's phone, which reveal that she also experienced the temporal intersection and, while trying to hide from someone in panic, suffered a heart attack. While trying to get medicine from the classroom, she mistakenly entered the 2022 classroom in her confusion and accidentally dropped her phone behind the cabinet. Combining the video with previous clues, players deduce that the suspicious figure Emily was avoiding was Ryan from 2022, who inadvertently caused her death by entering the wrong classroom and taking the wrong medication. Players respond with Ryan or you on the phone, and Ryan confirms in grief that he indeed was the cause of Emily's death. Ryan messages again, stating he cannot accept this fact and wants to make one last effort. He asks players to write a letter to his past self through the school's time capsule, advising him not to go back to find Emily in 2022, potentially preventing her death. Players find a piece of paper in the classroom, write a letter based on their thoughts, photograph it, and send it to Ryan before placing it in the time capsule. When trying to send the photo of the letter, the phone shows poor network connectivity, and the photo fails to send. At this time, Ryan informs everyone that the temporal intersection is about to end, causing unstable signals, and instructs them to return to their original classrooms, set the clocks to 11 p.m., and wait for the temporal intersection to end. After the temporal intersection concludes, players see on their phones that the photo of the letter has been successfully sent, while Ryan is horrified to discover that this letter was the very hint he received in 2018. Due to water damage, the text of the letter is blurred, but the printed year 202X on the letter reminded him of the possibility of temporal intersections, leading to all subsequent events. Ryan despairingly accepts fate's design and expresses gratitude to the players. Finally, as the school bell rings and the background music starts, a man's voice begins to lecture on today's literary topic about fate, starting the class with a quote: "Fate is like a mire. The more you struggle, the more you will fall."